Malik pushed his cleaning cart down the shiny glass hallway. His shoes made a soft echo as he moved from one office to another. It was 7 a.m., and the building was still quiet. Just the sound of air conditioners, a few early computers turning. On and Malik's soft footsteps. He wore a gray uniform and always kept his eyes low. Most employees barely noticed him. To them, he was just the janitor. Some smiled politely, others walked past without even looking. But Malik didn't mind. He had learned to live in silence. He had a story, a long one, but he never told. People didn't ask. They didn't care to know what he used to be. So he just kept wiping floors and emptying trash bins like he was invisible. Still, if you watched him closely, you might notice something strange. He moved with grace, like someone trained in discipline. His eyes were sharp, always scanning the room like a soldier. And sometimes, late at night or early in the morning, he would sit in the break room alone, writing things in strange alphabets or whispering in unfamiliar tongues. One day, something unexpected happened. Mr. Roberts, the CEO of the company, arrived unusually early. He was a man in his 50s, strict, successful, always busy. He didn't usually notice janitors or cleaners, but that morning as he walked past the break room with his coffee, he paused. He heard a voice. It was Malik, sitting alone at the table, speaking softly into an old phone. But the language he spoke wasn't English, it wasn't Spanish either. It was something else. Smooth, elegant, fast. Mr. Roberts narrowed his eyes. Malik then switched to another language, then another, and another. Mr. Roberts froze. He recognized one of the languages, Russian, then another, Arabic, and then Mandarin. Mr. Roberts stepped back quietly and stood in the hallway. He listened carefully, not wanting to interrupt. Malik didn't know he was being watched. He continued to speak fluently, changing tongues like a radio changing stations. It wasn't just the languages. It was how he spoke them, his tone, his confidence, his pronunciation. It was perfect, like a native speaker. No hesitation. When the call ended, Malik quietly placed the phone in his pocket, picked up his mop, and went back to work like nothing had happened. Mr. Roberts stood still. His coffee had gone cold in his hand. "Who is this man?" he whispered. The CEO returned to his office, but his mind wasn't on business anymore. He kept thinking about Malik. Why would a janitor speak 9 languages? And why would someone with such rare skills be pushing a mop? Mr. Roberts asked his assistant, "What's the janitor's name?" The assistant looked confused. "Which one, sir?" "The tall one, dark skin, always quiet." "Oh, that's Malik. He's been here almost a year now. Always early. Never complains. Doesn't talk much. Real polite." "Where's he from?" I don't really know. Somewhere in Africa, maybe?" His file just says international applicant. No details. Mr. Roberts felt a strange curiosity growing in his chest. He had seen thousands of employees in his life. But there was something different about Malik. Something deeper, something hidden. He decided to keep an eye on him. The next morning, Mr. Roberts came early again. He waited outside the break room. Malik was there, reading a small book in Chew, a language he couldn't recognize. Mr. Roberts entered casually. "Good morning." Malik looked up, a bit surprised. "Good morning, sir." Mr. Roberts smiled. "What language were you reading just now?" Malik paused. "It's Amharic, from Ethiopia." "Impressive," Mr. Roberts said. "I overheard speaking several languages the other day." Malik looked down, silent. "Just something I do in my free time." "Just a hobby?" Mr. Roberts asked. Malik gave a soft nod, but Mr. Roberts wasn't convinced. He had seen enough to know this wasn't just a hobby. The way Malik spoke, it came from training, from deep experience. The CEO sat across from him. "You know, I've met world leaders who speak fewer languages than you." Malik smiled gently. "Sometimes life teaches you many things, sir." There was silence between them. Mr. Roberts leaned in. "Malik, I think you're more than just a janitor. Am I right?" Malik looked into the CEO's eyes. And for the first time, Mr. Roberts saw something powerful, a story hiding behind silence. But Malik didn't say anything more. He simply stood up, picked up his mop and said, "Excuse me, sir. I need to finish the floors before the employees arrive." And just like that, he was gone. But Mr. Roberts had already made up his mind. He was going to find out the truth behind this mysterious janitor, because clearly, Malik was no ordinary man. Mr. Roberts could not sleep that night. His thoughts kept going back to Malik, the janitor who spoke 9 languages like a native speaker, the janitor who had eyes like a soldier and moved like a leader. Something's not right, Mr. Roberts muttered to himself, pacing in his study. Why would someone like that clean floors for minimum wage? The next morning, he arrived at work earlier than usual. He called his head of HR, Mrs. Lane, into his office. "I need everything we have on an employee named Malik," he said. Mrs. Lane frowned. "Malik? The janitor?" "Yes," Mr. Roberts replied. "Now." 30 minutes later, Mrs. Lane returned with a thin gray folder. She handed it over with a shrug. "This is all we have." He applied online, very little background info, no resume, no references, just his ID and work permit. Mr. Roberts opened the file. Malik Asare, born in Ghana, immigrated 5 years ago. No criminal record, no listed degrees, no family, no emergency contact. Mr. Roberts flipped through the papers again, confused. Something didn't add up. "This is too clean," he whispered. "Too perfect." He picked up his phone and called a friend, James Harlow, a retired intelligence officer he had once done business with. "James, I need a quiet background check on someone. Off the record." There was a pause. "Name?" James asked. "Malik Asare." There was a long silence on the other end. Then James said slowly, "Spell that." Mr. Roberts did, then waited. James's voice turned serious. "I'll call you back in an hour." While Mr. Roberts waited, he watched Malik through the hallway camera. The janitor was polishing a glass wall, humming softly to himself, calm, peaceful. Yet behind that peaceful face, Mr. Roberts sensed history, deep, buried history. 1 hour later, James called back. His voice was low and cautious. "Roberts, are you sure this guy's just a janitor?" Mr. Roberts stood up slowly. "Why?" "Because I couldn't find anything under that name. Not in Ghana, not in immigration, not in any international database. Nothing? Nothing real. That name, Malik Asare, it's likely fake." Mr. Roberts' stomach dropped. James continued. "But I did find a match to a former African diplomat, a man who once worked with the UN peacekeeping forces. Linguist, translator, intelligence consultant." Mr. Roberts sat back down, stunned. "You're saying my janitor used to be someone important, someone well-connected. Then he disappeared from records about 5 years ago." Went totally silent. Mr. Roberts stared at the window. "Why would someone like that be mopping floors in my building?" "I don't know," James said. "But be careful. That kind of man doesn't just vanish. He chooses to vanish." That afternoon, Mr. Roberts saw Malik in the parking lot carrying a bucket and mop toward the maintenance shed. He walked out and stopped him gently. "Malik, may I speak to you for a moment?" Malik turned, calm as always. "Of course, sir." They walked toward the garden benches near the fountain. Birds chirped. Wind blew gently. "I asked HR about you," Mr. Roberts began. "And I made some calls." Malik looked ahead, silent. "I know you're not just a janitor." Still, Malik said nothing. "Why are you here?" Mr. Roberts asked. "Why this job? Why this company?" Malik finally turned to face him. "I came here to disappear." Mr. Roberts blinked. "Disappear from what?" Malik looked down. "From everything." There was a deep silence, the kind that held pain, regret, and a story too long for words. "I lost people," Malik continued. "People I cared about. My name, my titles. None of it matters now. But you speak 9 languages," Mr. Roberts said. "You understand global politics. You've worked in places most of us have only seen in books." Malik gave a small smile. Now I clean floors. Mr. Roberts leaned forward. You can do more than that, Malik. Malik looked up slowly. Maybe. But sometimes, the quiet life is all a man needs. Mr. Roberts stood. Well, I think the quiet life is over. At least in this company. Malik raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? Mr. Roberts gave a soft smile. I'm promoting you. You're wasted in that uniform. You'll help me with international clients, starting Monday. Malik stood still for a moment, eyes wide with shock. I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for someone like you to mop my floors, Mr. Roberts replied. But here we are. Monday morning came quickly. The office buzzed with life. Phones ringing, keyboards clicking, voices chatting over coffee. But something felt different. Everyone was talking about the same thing. Did you hear? The janitor's in a suit today. No way, that can't be true. I saw him go into the CEO's office. And yes, there he was. Malik, the man everyone had seen mopping floors for months, now walked through the halls in a clean gray suit. His back straight, his walk calm and confident. A small silver name badge read, Linguistic and Global Affairs Advisor. Some employees stared in shock, others whispered. A few laughed quietly behind his back. Who does he think he is? Said one office manager. He probably blackmailed the CEO, said another. But Malik ignored it all. Just like he had ignored the stares when he was a janitor. His face remained calm. His eyes stayed focused. Inside the CEO's office, Mr. Roberts handed Malik a thick file. This client's from Eastern Europe, he explained. They're opening a major partnership with us, but communication has been tense. Malik opened the file and scanned a few pages. Then, without looking up, he said, They're not tense, they're cautious. The way they write, formal, overly polite, means they don't trust us yet, they're testing us. Mr. Roberts smiled. You saw that in just 2 pages? I've seen it before, Malik replied. Too many times. The CEO leaned back, in his chair. You've done this kind of work for a long time, haven't you? Malik gave a faint smile. A lifetime ago. Roberts nodded slowly. I won't ask more, but if you ever feel like talking, I'm here. Malik looked away, his voice low. Talking doesn't change the past. Over the next week, something amazing began to happen. Malik started working closely with top clients from across the world. He spoke fluent French in one meeting, perfect Arabic in another. Then Mandarin, Spanish, and even Russian. Employees who had once ignored him now watched him in awe. He's incredible, said one executive. Where did he learn all this? Another asked. But nobody had answers. Malik didn't share much about his past. He came to work early, left late, and treated everyone with the same quiet respect, even the ones who once laughed at him. Then one afternoon, something unexpected happened. A major foreign client, a powerful woman from a European tech firm, visited the office. She had flown in for an emergency meeting. The translator they hired had canceled last minute. Panic spread through the office. Doesn't speak English, someone shouted. She's going to walk out, another cried. Mr. Roberts stayed calm. He looked at Malik. Can you help? Malik gave a single nod. Yes. He walked into the meeting room without notes, without preparation, and greeted the client in her own language. She froze, surprised. Then slowly, she smiled. The meeting went perfectly. At the end, the woman stood up, shook Malik's hand, and said in English, You are wasted in this place. Malik only smiled politely. Sometimes we start at the bottom to understand the ground. Outside the meeting room, the staff stood frozen. Nobody laughed now, nobody whispered. The same people who once ignored Malik now clapped softly as he walked by. And for the first time in a long time, Malik felt something he had buried for years. Respect. But behind the smiles and success, one person wasn't happy. Nathan, the head of international sales, watched from his office window, arms crossed, jaw tight. He had worked at the company for 12 years. He wanted that job Malik now had. And he didn't. Trust him one bit. He's hiding something. Nathan muttered to himself. And I'm going to find out what. Nathan sat in his office, staring at his computer screen. But he wasn't doing work. He was watching Malik. Through the glass walls of the office, Nathan saw him moving calmly from room to room, helping, translating, advising. He's too perfect, Nathan whispered to himself. No one goes from mopping floors to meeting presidents overnight. Nathan wasn't just jealous. He was angry. Angry that after 12 long years at the company, he was still stuck. Angry that someone like Malik, who used to clean his trash can, now had the CEO's full trust. That night, Nathan stayed late. The office was quiet. Most people had gone home. He opened a private browser tab and typed, Malik Janitor Languages Past History Record. Nothing useful. He tried again. Malik, fluent in 9 languages. Immigrant background. Still nothing. Then, something strange happened. One result showed up. A name that matched Malik's. But the photo didn't look like a janitor. It showed a younger version of him. Clean-shaven, wearing a suit, standing beside military officers in a photo marked United Nations Security Translation Unit. Nathan's eyes widened. What is this? He whispered. He clicked the link. Access denied, restricted page. A chill ran down Nathan's spine. Who was this man? The next day, Nathan walked into the CEO's office without knocking. We need to talk, he said. Mr. Roberts looked up from his laptop. About? Malik, Nathan replied. I think he's hiding something. Government-level background. I found a photo. He's not who he says he is. The CEO raised an eyebrow. Did you talk to him about it? No, Nathan said quickly. But then don't bring me shadows without light, Mr. Roberts interrupted. Malik has helped this company more in a month than some people have in years. Nathan's face turned red. He stormed out of the office without saying another word. Later that afternoon, Malik walked into the break room. A few staff members were gathered around Nathan, whispering. As Malik approached, the room went quiet. One person quickly stood up and left. Another looked away. Malik noticed, but said nothing. He poured himself a cup of tea and sat in the corner. But inside, he knew. They were beginning to doubt him again. That night, Malik sat alone on a park bench under a streetlight. The city lights behind him blurred like faded memories. He pulled a small photo from his pocket. It showed a woman and a young boy. His voice trembled as he whispered, It's almost time, my son. Just a little longer. Footsteps approached. Mr. Roberts appeared beside him. I figured I'd find you here, he said. Malik gave a soft smile. Still spying on your janitor? Mr. Roberts chuckled, then grew serious. Nathan showed me something. A photo. Said you worked for the UN. Malik nodded slowly. Yes, a long time ago. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't want a job from my past, Malik said. I wanted a life for my future. For my son. Mr. Roberts sat down next to him. You were more than just a translator, weren't you? Malik didn't answer directly. Instead, he said, I helped prevent wars, but I couldn't stop one from reaching my home. I lost everything. The CEO stayed quiet. Then he said, You don't owe us your story, but if someone tries to use it against you, I'll stand with you. Malik looked at him, eyes soft. Thank you. The next day at the office, something strange happened. An email leaked, an old security report, classified. It revealed that Malik once worked undercover to expose language-based intelligence threats for the UN, but the file was edited to make him look dangerous. Staff members panicked. Was he a spy? Did he do something illegal? Is he being watched? In the middle of the chaos, Malik stood in the center of the office, silent, tall, and calm. But deep inside, he felt something. He hadn't felt in years. The office was no longer quiet. People walked in small groups, whispering behind hands. Some stared. Some avoided eye contact. Malik could feel the shift in the air, like heavy fog before a storm. It wasn't just gossip now. Someone had leaked the fake report and twisted his past into a threat. CEO Mr. Roberts called a company-wide meeting. Everyone gathered in the large conference hall. Mr. Roberts stood at the front, calm and firm. He cleared his throat. I know some of you are confused, and some are afraid, but you all deserve the truth. He turned to Malik, standing beside him. Malik, do you want to tell them? Malik nodded. He walked up slowly, looked at the crowd, not angry, just tired. Then began. My name is Malik Idris. I worked for the United Nations for 10 years. I wasn't a spy. I was a language specialist. I helped translate messages that could stop wars. He took a breath. But one day, a message I couldn't read in time cost lives, my family, my country. I left that world behind. I didn't come here to relive it. I came to start over. The room was silent. Even Nathan didn't say a word. Malik looked at them all. I never wanted power, just peace. The staff didn't clap, but they didn't walk away either. Something in the room had changed. They saw Malik differently now, not just as a janitor or a hero, but as a man, carrying pain too big for words. That evening, as Mr. Roberts and Malik left the building, a black car pulled up near the gate. A man in a suit stepped out. He was tall, with gray eyes and a face like stone. Malik Idris? The man said. Malik froze. Mr. Roberts stepped forward. Who's asking? The man flashed a badge. Not police, not local. International Security Force. Mr. Idris, the agent said. We need to talk. Privately. They sat in a quiet room. Upstairs, the agent placed a thick file on the table. Someone's been tracking you. The same group that leaked your report. Malik narrowed his eyes. Why now? Because you're visible again, the agent replied. And they never forgot what you uncovered in 2012. Mr. Roberts looked confused. What did he uncover? The agent glanced at Malik, then said, a weapons ring, hidden through language code. Malik cracked it, but before the trial, the suspects vanished. Someone believes he still knows where they are. Malik stood up slowly. I burned every document, every location. I gave it all to your people. The agent replied coldly. They don't believe that. Outside the room, someone was watching. It was Nathan. He had followed them, hiding behind a pillar. And now he knew. Malik wasn't just a man with a past. He was a man with enemies. That night, Malik returned home. He locked every door, checked every window. He opened a hidden drawer and pulled out an old phone, one without GPS, one he hadn't touched in years. He turned it on. The screen lit up, a new message. It said, "We know where you are." Malik stared at it for a long moment. Then he deleted the message. He looked at the picture of his wife and son on the wall. No more running, he whispered. The next morning, Mr. Roberts entered the building, but security stopped him. Sir, the guard said, there's someone waiting in your office. He says he's from the UN, but refused to show ID. Mr. Roberts rushed upstairs. When he opened the door, he saw Malik standing inside. His eyes cold, his face pale. There's something I haven't told you, Malik said. What is it? Malik closed the blinds. Someone inside this company is helping them. The office felt tense the next morning. Some employees avoided eye contact. Some were whispering again. But something was different now. It wasn't just curiosity. It was fear. Mr. Roberts couldn't focus on his meetings. He kept looking at the door. His mind stayed on Malik's words. Someone inside this company is helping them. Malik sat quietly in the janitor's break room. He had his notebook open, drawing symbols and notes. Old habits came back. The way he used to decode messages, find patterns, connect people. He was looking at access logs. Someone from the company had entered the server room late at night. Twice, no permission, no reason. Only one name came up both times, Nathan Lewis. Mr. Roberts was shocked. Nathan? My assistant? But he's been with me 5 years. Malik nodded slowly. Traitors are usually close, he said. That's how they stay hidden. That evening, Mr. Roberts called Nathan to his office. Nathan walked in smiling. You wanted to see me, sir? Mr. Roberts kept his voice calm. Yes, please sit down. He pressed a button under his desk, a signal. Two silent security officers moved closer outside the room. Mr. Roberts pulled out the log files. Nathan, why were you in the server room last night? Nathan froze, his smile faded. I needed some files. I thought it was okay. Roberts didn't move. And the night before that? Nathan's hands started to shake. Suddenly, the door burst. Open. Malik walked in, holding a small device. It's over, Nathan, he said softly. We found the bug in the system. You were recording our meetings. Nathan stood up fast, knocking over the chair. You don't know what you're doing. Know enough, Malik replied. Nathan laughed, but it wasn't funny. You think this is about you, Malik? You think you're special? They wanted you silenced for a reason. Mr. Roberts frowned. Who are they? Nathan leaned forward, whispering like a threat. People who don't want peace. People who profit from war. Security entered. Nathan was taken out in handcuffs. He kept yelling, You'll regret this. He's the reason your company will fall. The whole office was silent as they watched. Later that night, Malik stood alone on the rooftop. The wind was cold. The city lights below were glowing softly. Mr. Roberts joined him. I don't know what to say, Roberts said quietly. I trusted him. Malik didn't answer at first. Then he said, This isn't over. If Nathan was here, someone sent him, and they'll try again. Roberts nodded. What do we do? Malik turned to him, calm but firm. We prepare. The next day, the company launched a private security audit, background checks, system locks, full cleanup. Some staff were nervous. Some left, but many stayed. Now they looked at Malik with respect. Not just a janitor, not just a linguist, a protector. That afternoon, Malik received a small brown envelope. No return address. Inside, there was a photo. It showed Malik shaking hands with a UN official. Behind them, in the corner, a face, a man Malik thought was dead. He turned the photo over. One line was written in shaky handwriting. He's still watching. Malik felt a chill run through his spine. He turned toward the window and across the street. In a parked car, someone was sitting still, watching the building. Malik stood still at the window. The photo in his hand trembled slightly. His eyes didn't blink. Across the street, the black car sat silently. Inside was a man wearing dark glasses. He didn't move, didn't smile, just watched. Malik knew that face. The last time he saw it, that man had disappeared after a failed mission, and everyone believed he was dead. But now he was back, and he had found Malik. Mr. Roberts entered the office and saw the tension on Malik's face. Is it him? Roberts asked. Malik slowly nodded. He's not working alone. He's sending a message. They're coming. That night, Malik stayed late. He walked the halls of the company building, checking exits, checking blind spots. He wasn't just a janitor anymore. He was guarding something bigger now, not only the company, but its people, and the truth. In the server room, he found a small device near the back panel. It was new. It was a tracker. Someone had placed it recently, probably hours ago. Malik quickly disabled it, but it was too late. Whoever placed it already knew where he was. Back at home, Malik opened a hidden drawer under his old toolbox. Inside was a badge, United Peace Force, Special Ops. He held it for a moment, remembering the past, his team, his missions, the betrayals. He had walked away from it all to live a quiet life, but peace never stays quiet for long. The next morning, Roberts gathered his most trusted executives. Malik stood beside him. This man, Roberts said, is not just our janitor. He's someone I now trust with this company's security and my life. The room gasped. Some looked confused, others whispered. Malik stepped forward and spoke. I used to work in global intelligence. My job was to protect secrets. And people, what's happening now isn't about this company anymore. It's about what we know. Suddenly, the building's power blinked out. The room turned dark. Emergency lights kicked in, alarms started to ring. A guard's voice came over the radio. "Sir, someone's breached the lower level." Malik grabbed his bag and moved fast. In the way, basement, 3 masked men were already in the building. They were professionals, silent, armed, and efficient. But Malik was faster. One by one, he disarmed them, using pressure points and clever timing. His movements were calm, sharp, controlled. The last man pulled out a knife and rushed toward him. Malik didn't flinch. He dodged the strike, twisted the attacker's arm, and sent him crashing into the wall. As the man hit the floor, his mask came off. It wasn't just a soldier, it was the man from the car. The shadow, Malik froze for a second. So did the man. "Malik," the man said with a twisted smile. "Still cleaning floors? And you're still hiding behind others?" Malik replied. "I came to finish what we started," the man hissed. "You'll never touch this company," Malik said. "Not while I'm still standing." A final fight broke out, brutal, fast, quiet. In the end, Malik stood over the man, breathing hard. "You were supposed to be the best," the shadow whispered. "I still am," Malik said. Then security rushed in and arrested the man. Days later, peace returned to the company. But something had changed. Malik now walked with his head held high. People smiled at him. Some saluted him. He still mopped the floors, not because he had to, but because he chose to. One morning, a new janitor approached him nervously. "Sir, I heard what you did. I just wanted to say, thank you." Malik smiled gently. "Just do your job with pride," he said. "That's how you become more than what they see." Mr. Roberts watched from his office window. He smiled too, then turned to his team and said, "Sometimes the strongest people wear the simplest uniforms. But make no mistake, they are the real heroes." Days turned into weeks. Peace had returned to the company building, but nothing was the same anymore. Employees walked past Malik and nodded with respect. Some smiled, others even stopped to shake his hand. To many, he was still just the janitor. But to those who knew the truth, he was the reason they still had a future. Mr. Roberts called for a special meeting. The entire staff was invited to the EO auditorium. A big screen showed clips from security cameras, Malik fighting off the intruders, saving people, shutting down the breach. Gasps filled the room. No one had known what happened that night. It was kept quiet. Until now, Mr. Roberts stepped onto the stage. "Most of you know Malik as the man who cleans our floors," he said. "But today, I want to introduce him properly." He paused, then said with pride, "This man once served as a top special ops officer. He speaks 9 languages. He's protected world leaders. And recently, he protected all of us, without ever asking for thanks." The crowd stood and clapped. Tears welled up in some eyes. Malik slowly walked to the stage, nervous but calm. He stood at the podium. He didn't like big speeches. But today, he spoke from the heart. "I never wanted fame," Malik said. "I never even wanted recognition. I just wanted peace. I came here to start fresh, to live a simple life. But danger has a way of finding you, even in quiet places." He looked out at the crowd, and when it does, you don't run, you stand. Malik was offered a new position that day, head of corporate security, a big office, a better salary, full authority, but to everyone's surprise, he turned it down. "I'll help with security," he said, "but I'll stay in my janitor uniform." "Why?" someone asked. He smiled. "Because every time someone sees me and assumes I'm just a janitor, it reminds me how the world still judges by appearance. And that's exactly what I'm here to change." Soon, Malik became more than just a staff member. He became a symbol. Young employees started calling him the Watchman. A few interns began learning foreign languages, inspired by his story. Roberts had a plaque made for the break room wall. It read, "A true hero doesn't need a title. He just needs the courage to act." One evening, as Malik locked up the building, a small boy approached him. It was the son of one of the new cleaning staff. "Sir, my mom said you saved everyone here. Malik knelt down and smiled at the boy. I just did my part. The boy handed him a small drawing. It was of Malik standing tall with a mop in one hand and a superhero cape behind him. Malik's heart warmed. Thank you, he whispered. The next morning, something unexpected happened. A major news outlet published the story of the janitor who spoke 9 languages. It went viral. People across the world watched it. They were amazed. Messages poured in. Some said, "You're a true hero." Others wrote, "You give hope to people like us." Malik didn't reply to all of them. He just continued sweeping the floor, same as always. But now he wasn't just cleaning dust. He was cleaning doubts, cleaning judgment, cleaning the idea that someone's value is based on their job title.